strange invitation. The nights in the suburban area of Brown Hollow, New York, were always peculiar. People claimed that the forest there had an inexplicable pull, as if it lured anyone who ventured too close. That night, Emma Johnson and Sarah Williams decided to go camping near the forest with their friends, Jack Collins and Megan Smith. "Is this really a good idea?" Emma asked with hesitation. "So, yeah, it's our last adventure before we head back to college," Jack replied with a grin. They packed their gear and set off into the forest at night. As they approached the woods, the air grew colder and an eerie silence enveloped them. And the first encounter. Once they reached an open spot in the forest, they set up their camp. Jack lit a fire and they all began sharing stories. Sarah started recounting an old tale. "Saint, they say there's an eerie house in this forest. Anyone who enters it never returns." "That's just a story," Megan said, laughing. "If it's just a story, why don't we go check it out?" Jack suggested mischievously. Everyone, half-jokingly, agreed to his idea, and they set out to explore the rumored house in the forest. After walking for a while, they found themselves standing before an old, dilapidated house. Inside the house, the door of the house bore a worn-out, ominous sign that read, "Beware, enter at your own risk." "This looks exciting," Jack joked as he pushed open the door. Hesitantly, they stepped inside. The interior was filled with a strange smell, and dried bloodstains were scattered across the floor. The walls were adorned with bizarre, creepy drawings. "This place is really unsettling," Megan whispered. Emma picked up an old, dusty journal from a table. Its pages carried a chilling message. "This is my game. Those who enter will not leave alive." Suddenly, a door slammed shut with a loud bang, startling everyone. "What was that?" Sarah asked, panicking. "Maybe it was the wind," Jack replied, but there was fear in his voice. An ancient mirror in the room reflected a shadowy figure, and Megan let out a scream, stepping back in terror. "This place is dangerous. We need to leave immediately," Emma urged. The killer appears. As they tried to leave the house, a masked man emerged from the shadows. He held a dagger in his hand, his gaze cold and terrifying. "No one leaves here alive," he said in a low, menacing tone. They all tried to escape, but the door was locked. The masked man grabbed Megan. Jack mustered his courage to intervene, but the man shoved him to the ground. A fight for survival. Scattered across different rooms, Emma and Sarah locked themselves inside one of them, their breaths shaky. "What is this place? Who is that man?" Sarah asked, trembling. "This is a trap. We need to stick together or none of us will survive," Emma said firmly. Meanwhile, Jack and Megan found refuge in a basement. There, they discovered old photographs, one of which showed the masked man. In these pictures, he looked like an ordinary man, but over time, his eyes reflected a growing madness. "This guy is insane," Jack remarked. "But why is he doing all this?" Megan wondered aloud. Uncovering the truth. Emma and Sarah discovered a hidden passage leading to the basement. They reunited with Jack and Megan, where they found another journal detailing the life of the masked man. Latin? His name was Marcus Reed, a builder who had constructed this house for his wife and daughter. But one day, a group of people kidnapped and murdered his daughter. Driven to madness, Marcus vowed that no one would ever find peace in this house again. "This man wants revenge," Emma concluded. The heart-wrenching ending. They devised a plan to escape the house together, but the masked man cornered them. Jack fought bravely to protect the others, but was killed in the struggle. Megan managed to wound the masked man at one point, but he kept attacking relentlessly. Finally, Emma used an old oil lamp in the basement to set the house ablaze. When the police arrived, the house had burned to ashes, but no bodies were found. Emma and Sarah somehow made it out alive, but the loss of Jack and Megan would haunt them forever. The haunting remains. A few months later, Emma passed by another eerie house near the same forest. It looked just like the previous one. In one of the windows, she spotted the shadow of the same masked man staring back at her. The story ends, but the fear lives on.